fucking welcome.
Superheroes are not necessarily perfect, and few adaptations have explored the anti-superhero drama genre as well as The Boys. Based on a graphic and hard-hitting comic series, the show has been widely popular, and it is not surprising that the trailer for the upcoming Season 4 has attracted a lot of attention and speculation from the fans. The many footage that we get in the trailer has left many wondering about the possibility of the new anti-hero and primary protagonist Billy Butcher taken to his dark side. And in this video, we will explore everything you need to know about the chances of Billy Butcher turning into a villain. Now, before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
I bunch of
What is Billy Butcher's villain arc in the comic books like? The whole saga of Billy Butcher turning into a villain after seemingly fighting them his whole life is not completely unheard of, especially for the comic book fans. In The Boys Volume 11, Homelander finally does what everyone feared him to do for a long time. He starts off a violent coup against the US government, and all that stands between him and protesting civilians and helpless soldiers are the Boys, who get involved in a final war with the superheroes led by Homelander. However, after dealing with the threat posed by Homelander and killing him in what looks like an epic revenge, Billy Butcher's mission is surprisingly far from over. During a conversation with Mother's Milk, he reveals that he wants to go on in his vendetta-filled violence against all the superheroes, and Mother's Milk realizes that there is no way to stop Butcher from going his crazy way. This situation poses a unique dilemma for the readers as well, because we all know that not every superhero in The Boys is evil. In fact, most of them simply want to lead their normal lives and just act out the parts instructed by Vought corporations. Mother's Milk and Butcher engage in a fierce duel after the former realizes that there is no convincing Butcher to give up his futile mission. The brutality of the fight is short-lived but impactful, and finally, Butcher pushes the grenade into the mouth of Mother's Milk, killing him in the most graphic way imaginable. The next in line are the Frenchman and the woman, aka Kimiko. They are both taken out by Butcher in a planned explosion that gives them no chance to escape. Finally, it all boils down to a final showdown with Huey, the guy who has been groomed by Butcher all his life. It is a battle that goes on for pages in the comic books, and we see the range of changing emotions in both of them. Huey is initially rather scared to take on the mighty Butcher single-handedly, but he continues knowing that he has no choice. Meanwhile, Butcher keeps his affection for Huey aside for what he believes to be the ultimate goal of his mission, eliminating anyone with superhuman abilities. The fight eventually ends with Huey killing Butcher, but not before he is impaled on sharp railings, causing him a serious injury. Their farewell moments are also emotional, as a fall from a great height causes Butcher to be paralyzed from neck down. A short final conversation later, it is all over for Butcher, and even though his injury seems serious enough, Huey actually recovers quite well from the confrontation. In fact, he is the only one who gets a so-called happy ending in the comic books, and the final pages show him going out on a date with Starlight after everything that they have been through together. Although the final fate of Butcher is rather tragic, it is also a fitting climax for the narrative of The Boys. Sometimes there is a tendency to glorify anti-heroes, but this story arc is a solid reminder that no one is perfect, and even the ones fighting evil all their lives can turn to their dark side when violence and slaughter become a habit. The entire theme of The Boys is based on the fact that nothing is purely black and white, and the final transformation of Butcher into a maniacal killer only restores the theory in the concluding parts of the comic books. How much of the comic book storyline can be replicated in Season 4? If we've learned anything from the Boys series, it is the unpredictable nature of the narrative, which doesn't necessarily abide by the events in the comic books. There are a lot of changes involved in everything from the characters to the major events, and thus we cannot say with certainty that Butcher will go down the same way in the show as shown in the comic books. The show version of Butcher has perhaps been humanized more than the comic book version, and he is more affectionate to someone like Starlight than he is in the comics. Even Huey is no less than a loving brother to him, and let us not forget his weakness for the well-being of Ryan Butcher. If he indeed becomes hell-bent on eliminating everyone with superhero qualities, it will include all these people who are way closer to him in the show, and it will be one hell of a tough decision for Butcher. That being said, there are certain factors that indicate the possibility of him being driven to the brink of insanity. He has always been known to make some very tough decisions, and if he really believes that his ultimate goal will be good for a better world, he might just keep his emotions on the back seat.
You're all fucking welcome.
how the Season 4 trailer teases the possibility of Butcher turning into the ultimate villain. The trailer of the upcoming Season 4 of The Boys has been captivating to say the least. We have seen glimpses of what the superhero apocalypse and chaos in the society can look like, and Homelander has already shown signs of being more power-hungry than ever before. He wants to turn the Seven into wrathful gods, and he has a couple of new superheroes joining the Seven to fulfill his vision. There is a good chance that he will eventually lead a coup against the US government and security forces just like he does in the comic books. And this throws up the possibility of Billy Butcher turning into the surprise villain package in the upcoming series. Previously, we've seen Butcher administering himself with a temporary Compound V on multiple occasions to fight Homelander. However, he's hesitated momentarily when the opportunity was ripe for him to land a killing blow on the twisted superhero. Butcher is also suffering from the effects of the Compound V injections, and he has terminal brain cancer with a little time to live. If he wants to eliminate every superhero on Earth, he has to do so in quick time, and even in the trailer you can see him telling the boys how he wants to do one right thing in the little time that he has left. Don't be surprised if you see Butcher in his extreme elements, especially if Homelander goes rogue and poses a threat for anyone protesting its fascist tendencies. Will the superhero-killing virus play an important role in Butcher's mission? There have been some new developments in the trailer of Season 4 aside from the introduction of new superheroes and new characters like Joe Kessler. There is a brief glimpse of the horrors awaiting Butcher and his gang when Joe Kessler, a CIA analyst, urges Butcher to speed up his actions against the superheroes before each one of them is rounded up and taken to camps. What can this decisive action by Butcher mean? In Season 1 of Gen V, which is a spin-off show of The Boys, we have found mention of a specially manufactured virus that can kill all superheroes. At the end of the season, Butcher can be seen exploring the laboratory where the virus was created, and from what we can gather from the Season 4 trailer of The Voice, it is the sample of this virus that Butcher refers to as the answer to all the prayers. If he has elaborate plans on putting this anti-superhero virus to good use, he will also put the life of Ryan at risk, but if he is driven to the point of no return, Butcher is not someone to be restricted by his emotions. The superhero-killing virus may also be a reason behind his differences with Huey and the other members of The Boys, because Huey is involved with the superhero Starlight. The Frenchman has a soft corner for Kimiko, both of whom fall prey to the virus. Even Huey has been exposed to Compound V and shown superhuman abilities, which makes us wonder if the virus would threaten him as well. Overall, the plot has thickened just like how we want it, and you can expect a cracker of a season, especially if this is the final season of The Boys. Marvel's verdict. Expect a tragic touch to Butcher's fate in the show. Ever since The Boys has been soaring high in the popularity charts, it has been clear that the narrative is centered around Butcher and his mission in many ways. We have had elaborate episodes to focus on his origin story, a tragic personal life, the mishap with his wife, and finally, he has been set up as someone who is rough and tough because the situation needs him to be that way. Given how we have seen the character progress throughout the 3 seasons of the show, it might be a fitting farewell to Butcher if the showrunners take him out as a tragic hero. You'll feel bad for his fate, but you'll also know that he was wrong in his rigid, hardliner policy against the Supes, irrespective of the nature of the superheroes. There can be no one better than his beloved Huey to hand him his farewell, and the trailer already suggests enough maniacal tendencies in Butcher, which can effectively turn him into a brainwashed, psychotic individual who wants nothing except for the elimination of every superhero. With the release date of Season 4 drawing close, it is going to be an agonizing wait for a little over a month, but you can be sure that the final result will be worth your patience. Don't forget to tell us about your thoughts on the fate of Butcher in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you if you believe that Huey and Butcher will have a similar face-off in the show as they did in the comic books. And also, let us know if you think there will be another season of The Boys to conclude the narrative. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.